Do you have it? Do you have it? Do you have it? Do you have it? Nothing but the love of God in your heart. No place for hate. Do you have it? Do you have it? You rock my soul. You rock my soul.
All right, all right, all right. It's okay. It's okay. I've got it. Thus said the Lord God above. I've got it. Nothing but the love of God. It's only love, no hate right here. I've got it. Do you got it? Welcome, welcome to Sterling in the morning. Hope somebody is up. Maybe I'm starting too late, man. I got to start earlier. I got to get up out of my bed and start this program earlier. Got to get it started. Got to get it started earlier. Yeah, I got to get up out of my bed, man. Got to make some sacrifices. No, success don't come without sacrifices. So I got to learn right now to make some big sacrifices in order to get this program really up and running. Go back to my 8 o'clock slot, or maybe 7 o'clock. Woo! Lord of mercy, going back to my 7 o'clock slot. That's a big jump right there. Go to bed early, get up early, and start it off in the 7 o'clock slot. Hey, listen, we have a great program for you this morning. I have a great program for you this morning. Welcome. Welcome one, welcome all. May God bless you and keep you. God really give you a good day, a favorable day. May your day be of great blessings. Blessed be the name of the Lord forevermore. Talked about a topic the other day and made a nice impact with that. Talking about men, talking about husbands, and talking about really should pastors date before they really get married, or should a pastor date really not even so much before they get married, but basically should a pastor date? Is it okay for a pastor to date? Can a pastor date? And really, is it anybody's business anyway, especially the church? Is it the church business that a pastor, your pastor, is dating, or, all right, taking someone out to get to know them, taking someone out on a date to get to know them. Put it that way. All right, nicely said. Right, and some of you gave your input on that. We got another topic coming up that really want to piggyback on that one. When is it okay to take someone out other than your spouse? Whoa! Want to look at that one too, right? Behave yourself, Pastor Sterling. Behave yourself. All right, so we want to look at that one also. But for today, welcome to Sterling in the morning. Really basically going to be talking about living in the dog house. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Right? Somebody said behave yourself, right? I'm supposed to be what? Whatever. But hey, listen, I like to be myself. Is it okay if I be myself? Can I be myself? Folks, is it okay if I be myself? I mean, in righteousness, of course, right? Married but lives in the dog house. So many Christian men are doing this. Yes, Christian men. Men of value, men of faith, men of God. So many are trapped in this type of lifestyle, right? Married but lives in the dog house, quote unquote, right? Living in the dog house basically means that you're living somewhere else in the house. Maybe you bought the house with the wife, but here it is, you are now living in the basement. Maybe you're living in the next room. Maybe it's simply that you just sleep in the next room. You don't sleep with wifey no more, right? Your wifey not in the same bed every night, right? Once in a while, you get together, but basically you are in east part of the house and she's the west part of the house. Or you are in the north part of the house, she's in the south part of the house, right? Maybe you are adjacent to each other, right? She's in the southwest and you are in the northeast. But nevertheless, you are in the doghouse, so to speak, because you are not in the bedroom anymore. Hello, somebody. Oh, you're getting the picture right here, right now. All right, spread the word, somebody. Tweet somebody, email somebody, instant message somebody. Let them know Sterling B is on. And once again, Sterling in the morning. Was very busy last couple of days. Couldn't get on the platform as I really wanted to. One of the days I wasn't really 100%, and I I'm feeling much better today, even though my voice here is going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I had a rough time last night. Oh gosh, I had a rough time last night, man. I had a rough time sleeping right through the night. But nevertheless, I made it through. The morning has come. Somebody said, Day-o, day-o, me say day, me say day, me say day-o. Right? Daylight come and I wanna go home. All right, so hey, listen, man. Yesterday in Jamaica, you celebrated Heroes Day. Hey, man, congratulations, all you Jamaicans, and all you Jamaicans, right? Is it the Jamaicans, right? Or is it Americans, Jamaicans? Or is it Americans, Jamaicans? Which is it? Jamaicans? All right, so congratulations, man. All y'all folks out of Jamaica, West Indies celebrated Heroes Day. It was a holiday for most of y'all, if not all of y'all. Some people had to work, right? My dear friend, Sister M, you had to work yesterday, right? Yeah, so anyway, it's what it is. It's what it is. Once again, pleasant good morning. If I get one or two people to listen this morning, it'll be a great blessing. But nevertheless, let me put it on the radio. Wow, I'm here talking away, and I'm not on the radio platform. Woo, don't tell nobody. Please do not tell nobody. Keep it to yourself, all right? Yeah, man, yeah. So, listen, man, keep me in your prayers right here. I'm still trying to get my voice back 100%, and I'm still trying to get 100% healthy. But hey, Minister Denzel Hall, I've got it. Leave the singing to professional Pastor Sterling. So let's go back right here to the music, taking it from the top. It's Sterling B in the morning right here. We play the best of the best for you. Not only play the best of the best, but we have some real talk right here. Talk about some things that most of you won't be able to talk about or feel uncomfortable to talk about. But we talk about it right here on Sterling in the morning. Are you with me, somebody? Right here, it's real talk, man. Real talk. Hey, somebody, tweet somebody, email somebody, let them know that they can listen to real talk right here with Sterling in the morning. I've got it.
No place for hate. I've got it.
Father, I just want to say and asking you to come into this midst, come into our midst, come into this program. Father, I pray you saturate the airwave. Father, I pray your blessings will be with me and be with us. Father, I pray you lift up a standard against the enemy. Father, I pray that you will let your will be done. Speak, Lord. Speak a word, Lord. Father, may you encourage our hearts. Help us to be who you want us to be, oh Father. Give you thanks for another day. Thank you for your blessings, Almighty God. Continue to favor us. Forgive us of our sins, Lord God. Help us to be people that you want us to be, oh God. That we walk in your will and in your way. Father, I give you thanks. I give you praise. I give you glory. In the name of Jesus, amen. Bless your name, Lord.
I've got it.
Yes, I've got it.
I've got it. I've got it. Nothing but the love of God in my heart. No place for hate. I've got it. I've got it. Do you have it? Do you have it?
Oh,
Do you have it?
yes, it's another segment of Sterling in the Morning. I want to welcome each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. Pray that all has been well and well is all with you. Married but lives in the doghouse. That's the topic for today. Going to take you up until about 11 a.m. Maybe about 11:30 a.m. thereabout. But nevertheless, it's that there is someone out there. It might be a husband, it might be a wife, but you live in the doghouse. In other words, you live in another section of the house. You're not actually sleeping together in the same bed every night, but you do live in the same house. Probably you do live on the same property. Well, some people might be living in the garage, which is practically illegal in some states. Not allowed to live in the garage, but if that's where you gotta lay your head, hey, what can I say? It's a reality of things right here. We discuss things that are difficult for people to talk about, challenging for people to talk about. We talk about some stuff here that people find it uncomfortable to talk about, but this is a real deal, real talk right here. Yes, husband lives in the basement, spouse live in the basement of the house. Don't know your situation, so I'm not here picking on anybody. I'm not stereotyping anybody. I'm not judging anyone, and I'm not calling nobody name. Hello, right? They calling nobody name. Make sure I don't call your name. What your name again? What your name again? Make sure I don't call your name. All right? Make sure I don't call your name. I'm gonna try to forget your name, right? Hey, I don't know anybody personally, but I know of stories. I know of people, or maybe I heard of stories too. But I heard of folks, and basically, hey, listen, it's a reality of things for many people out there, whether you're Christian or not. But when it comes to the child of God, when it comes to the people of God, living this way, it's not healthy, it's not right. But hey, it's what you got to do, right? For peace sake and for longevity. All right. So when I say it's not right, it means that by any means necessary, we as children of God should be looking to make peace with each other so that we can live with each other. But in some states, in some places, in some situations, in order for peace to dwell in the place, they got to live separately. They got to live apart. Not so much interacting and interacting intimately is probably another different story. They might be living separate quarters, but yet when it's time to get intimate, they could come together and be intimate. And some people have those kind of arrangements. Some people still have those kind of influence on each other, right? So a spouse and father is supposed to put his wife, right? So a spouse, a father, whoever, you're supposed to put your wife first. You're supposed to put your husband first. You're supposed to put your children first. And just as you do with your family, but here it is, it sounds like he or she is putting himself in the doghouse. All right. Sometimes the individual promised to change, right? It promised that, hey, I'm going to change my way. I'm going to change my behavior. I'm going to do better. And many times a person does not do better and ends up in the doghouse. And so when we talk about doghouse, we talk about end up in another part of the house, living in another part of the house, sleeping in another part of the house, really. You got separate keys, right? Oh, no, not really. Hey, you got separate entrance, huh? But anyway, you can still go to the main entrance. So I know I'm making it comical, yes, because, hey, listen, man, I know it's probably not comical, it's serious for some people, but it's reality for many people. And not trying to make light of it, just trying to bring out the best out of each and every one of us. Trying to bring out the best out of you, bring out the best out of me. Take a serious situation and make it light in terms of like, hey, listen, life doesn't end there. Life doesn't stop there. Life still goes on. And sometimes you need to just, you take life seriously, but yes, in order to get through life, you got to lighten up sometimes. And sometimes you got to laugh at the enemy. You got to laugh at your situation. You got to look at yourself and laugh. Sometimes, have you ever looked at yourself? Have you ever looked at your situation and you really laugh about it? Yeah, sometimes you got to really do that. So, here it is. Someone says that we live together for a turbulent 9 months in an arrangement called what? Divorce or something like that. You live in this situation for a good while, right? You live in the situation for a good while, and here it is. You end up in divorce because you're living in a turbulent situation for a good while, and it ends up in divorce, right? So in this person's case, the husband moved into the furnished basement, okay, and especially during the time when he like said, hey, listen, I had enough of this. I just can't deal with this. So, after this turbulent, I understand this, what the turbulent is or was, but I guess they end up in divorce, and the person probably didn't have any place to live, so they end up living in the basement anyway. All right. So listen, saints, this is real. This is real folk stuff. This is grown folk stuff. These things happen over and over, and these things affect a lot of people time and time again. So let's not try to be, nonchalant about it or turn a blind eye about it, because these are things that really do happen to people, and it is happening as we speak, and it happens over and over again. A lot of people are not willing to admit to it, but not admitting to it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist and that it's not happening. It's happening whether we like it or not, and more often than we like or not, it's really happening. So somebody say, I've been living in my basement for 6 weeks now, right? And so distancing from my husband, that is, and honestly, I'm loving it. So there it is. Some people loving it, right? Our physical separation into different areas of our home has given me, I guess, peace of mind, or given me the chance to get to know yourself better, or the chance to do what you really want to do. That's what it really is. That's what it boils down to. You get to do what you really want to do, right? You make the vow for better or for worse. And so, hey, here this person says that since late February of this year, I have been living in the basement of my home. And while my choice of living quarters has nothing to do with coronavirus fear. All right, here we go again, a call. Hold on. Let me see if I can take this call. How do I do this? How do I do this? Are you? Hello?
Oh, sorry, Pastor. I thought that was the listening number.
You're sorry. You're called, why? Because you're living in the doghouse, so you're calling to listen to what this. I know you're not living in the doghouse. I know.
I was just trying to listen, but I never see that is a dialing number.
Yeah, that's a 516. Dial the listening number. Dial the 631 number. 631, 359-9201. Dial that number, and you will listen on your cell phone. All right. Anyway, you go. Thanks for
Okay,
listening, though.
Pastor.
Bless
Alright,
you.
blessing.
All right. Bye bye.
Okay.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the phone does work. The phone number do work. Hello, pick up the phone and give me a call. 516-255-6747. The phone does work. All right. Thank you so much. My sister calling in all the way from Rochester. All right. That's Rochester there. All right. Nevertheless, yes, you can listen on your phone. Turn your cell phone into a radio. And that's 631-631. All right. 631 number. Use the 631 number 359-9201. Use that number, and if you have to go on the street, if you have to go in the subway, if you have to travel, use that number to listen to Sterling in the morning. 631-359-9201. 9201. All right. Somebody trying to pull a prank on me here. Are you trying to pull a prank on me here? All right. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Somebody's putting a prank on me here, right? All right. I ain't even gonna pay you no mind. I ain't gonna pay that no mind, you know. But anyway, I thank those of you out there who are listening right now. Hey, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. All right. Hey, listen, I don't like problems. I don't like trouble. So I try to solve problems. Problems I solve, but I don't like them. I don't like problems, so therefore I solve them. Right? So I don't like issues. I like positive. You know, it's good to surround yourself with positive people because you will live longer. And you have less drama. So the reason why somebody could be living in separate quarters from their spouse is because of drama. Some husbands are drama kings, and some wives are drama queens. So here this individual says that she has been living in the basement of her home for quite some time now, and it's not really because of the fear of coronavirus, which I know someone who was experiencing that. I know several people who was experiencing that, right? The person doing coronavirus had to live in the basement, and they, you know, had to slip the food or whatever to them, basically, to help out with them with their coronavirus situation. So during the coronavirus, a lot of this went on anyway, right? Someone in the house, the husband in the house got sick, the wife in the house got sick, so they had to go in the basement and live until they get better. Hopefully the spouse will let you back in. It's like once you move out, that's it, right? Once you move out, that's it. But anyway, yeah, so distancing from my husband, that is, and honestly, I'm loving it. So, wow, this person said they're loving it. Is that for real? You're really loving it? Oh my goodness. That's not right. That's not nice. Anyway, it's what it is. Who am I to argue with that, right? Who am I to argue with that if you're loving it? Oh my goodness. That is crazy. So, our physical separation into different areas of our home has given me more control over my day-to-day activities than I have had in many years. And simple things like going to sleep when I want, waking up on my own schedule. Oh no, this is not real. Working in bed and watching the television shows of my choice. Right now, you don't gotta be bored watching your spouse boring TV programming, right? You got your own TV set, you got your own program, and you can watch it as long as you want, flip channels as many times as you want to, right? Yeah, husband, y'all know y'all want the remote, right? But wife, you don't want you to get the remote because she said, man, I can't deal with what you're watching. So, hey, listen, here it is. This person is just enjoying that, and hey, what can I tell you? It's sometimes emotionally better for some people. It has become emotionally, sound for some people in these situations. But it's an unfortunate situation that folks have to do this. and folks have to live this way. We got to go a little bit more in depth as to how some of these things happen, the reason for some of these things. Husband in one room, wife is in another room. So we're going to look at these various different situations, all right? And here, this young lady, or this, well, I don't know if you're a young lady, but but the wife in this relationship says emotional separation is easier to handle when we aren't using the same bathroom, sleeping in the same bedroom, or even speaking to each other unless necessary. So ironically, our relationship has improved to the point where I sometimes have to remind my estranged husband that we are no longer a couple, and sometimes I have to remind myself too. So there you have it. That's one person's experience, and that's going down the road of divorce or separation. There are people who are going to church, and they go to church as a couple, but when they reach home, they are not a couple anymore. They are actually in separate quarters. They are actually living in separate spaces, but they still go to church together. Maybe they have one car. Maybe the other person can't drive and the other one can drive. So, you got to get to church. You take the drive. Many people have lived together for a very, very long time, and sometimes they grow apart from each other. They grow apart from each other, and because they grew apart from each other, they now began to sleep in separate rooms. That's also a reality. Couples growing apart from each other. The love that they once had, they don't necessarily have it like that anymore. So sleeping in the basement is extreme, or sleeping in the doghouse is extreme. Sleeping in the cave is the extreme. And there are reasons. But when you live in the same house and you have a 3-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, a 4-bedroom, the children, they are all grown, they are all married, they have left the home, and it's just you and your spouse, and the other rooms are not being used, so you get creative and you move into one of them. And you have your peace of mind because you got your own TV, right? You have your own bed for spread out pan, roll over, right? And then on top of that, some people, they get up out of the bed and just leave it unspread, and the wife would go in and spread the bed, or the husband go in and spread the bed. All right. So, and then you have a situation where people are malicing each other. And this ought not to be so, according to the words of God. The words of God said this is not to be so, but you have people of God that do malice each other, not talking to each other for a while, and so one of them find the empty bedroom to go and sleep in. So you're married, but you're living in the doghouse. Not to say that this is necessarily right or wrong. We're not going into whether it's right or wrong. We're just going into the situation that arises that cause things like this to happen. A little later, we could probably go into whether it's right or wrong, but we got to look at things in its perspective, or in its context, or in its various situation. So one situation for one person might not be the same situation for another person. You can be a loving couple. You can be a very loving couple, but you hit a roadblock. You have a situation where you're really upset with each other, and one person's feel the best solution is for me to take a break and let me go somewhere else and be for a while and cool down. cool off. But as soon as you cool off, you need to you need to get back with each other, right? You need to get back with each other. Okay, somebody text me and say nobody now gonna listen to me. Ah, Lord. All right, somebody say, hey, I don't think anyone's going to listen to you anymore or any of your programs. I guess this is a disgruntled customer, right? This is a customer vexed with me. I wonder if this person is willing to forgive and to forget, because hey, listen, sometimes we don't get everything the way we want it. We don't get everything our way, right? So hey, listen, somebody say after separation 4 years ago, this dad lives in where did dad live? This dad's live in the basement of the family home, right? So and hey, listen, sometimes hey, dad, you're living in the basement. It's even easy for you know the spouse to just drop the child or the children off, leave you down there to babysit. Hey, I never thought that my basement is where I would be spending most of my time. I mean, I have heard of man caves before, and I knew they were often in the basement, but those were places that dads went to, went to get escape, or those are places where dads go to get to escape, all right, and to watch the sports, to watch a TV game, to play games, video games, and so forth, and here's it, and have a night with their buddies, right? To have time with their buddies. So you'd use the basement for that, and so this brother here says this is from this is from Daddy's Digest, rather. In Daddy's Digest, this article here states that it wasn't where they lived, but where they slept, and not while the children and the children's mother were upstairs. And yet, in separation and divorce during a global pandemic, this is what it's become. And that is true. During the pandemic, during this global pandemic, this is what a lot of people find themselves in. These are the situations a lot of people find themselves in. A lot of spouses find themselves in the doghouse. All right? And so I certainly did not think that this would become my life. Hey, there you go. And that and that there were so many others living like this. In other words, he never thought that there were so many other people living like this, or living like how he finds himself living in the dog house. All right, not on the boardwalk, but in the dog house. Not under the boardwalk, but in the dog house. Right, in another part of the house. Most times the basement, if you have one. Some houses don't have a basement. Some houses have apartments. But there are many basement dads. Ooh, as I call them now, right? That's another terminology, right? Basement dad. Oh, Lord. Remember that terminology, basement dad. And it seems like the number is growing based on conversation I'm having. So he's having a conversation with folks, as he goes by in his daily life. And he's finding out that more and more people are having this kind of experience, or living this kind of way, or the rent is sky high. Hey, I don't know where you live. I don't know what part of town you live in. I don't know what state you are in. I don't know what country you are in right now. But most places, rent is sky high. It's expensive to live in Manhattan, let alone they're moving from Manhattan into Brooklyn, driving up the rents in Brooklyn. You thought that rents were high already in Brooklyn. Those who flee in Manhattan are coming into Brooklyn now, and the rent is going up. I mean, it is crazy out there. If you can't find a place, it's because the rent is too high. It's not that there's no place out there. People know they have place. Listen, I noticed these last days, the way living, the way it's a new type of living in these last days. a new type of living, a new type of apartments. Let's go into that a little bit. A new type of apartments that are being built right now. Mine alone, when Bill de Blasio was in office, he talked about building low-income homes and low-income this and that. All the real estate guru, most of them get the contract, get that. All of a sudden they build condominiums, they build co-ops, they build luxury apartments, all of these things. And now the low-income folks are left out, basically. So not to say that they didn't build low-income homes. They did build a few, but the low-income one that they built is like the people low-income didn't meet the standards. Get what I'm saying? The low-income didn't qualify them, even though they were, so they couldn't even get a lot of these apartments, a lot of these places. And here it is today, man. There are people who are living out of the storage. Ouch, ouch. Somebody say ouch. There are people today who lives out of the storage. What do I mean by that? I mean you rent a room and you put your stuff in storage, and that's the new norms right now. The new norms is to have your things in storage and you go rent a room, or you borrow space from a friend. You borrow space from your mommy. You move back home with mommy and daddy. You move in with a good friend of yours. Hopefully they let you have the living room. Hopefully they let you have one of their bedroom that's not occupied, and you pay whatever you want to pay for that space, and then you pay the rent for the what you call them, the space them now, the oh God, it's slipping my mind. Come on. Whoa. Look like I didn't take my mind pill this morning. Storage. Most of the things are in storage, and you have to be in a little room somewhere that you're not comfortable with. Not putting anybody down, not judging anyone, not stereotyping, but that's the new norm right now. Because your 2-bedroom things cannot hold in one room. Your 1-bedroom things cannot hold in one little room, because it's the things you have is for 1 bedroom, right? 1-bedroom apartment, right? But now you don't have that, and it's not that you can't afford to pay rent. You can afford to pay rent, but what you can afford, you cannot use it to get an apartment, especially if you're in New York, or if you're in Brooklyn. I don't know about Queens, if the rent is a little better in Queens. I don't know about Staten Island. I don't know about many of the other tri-states. I don't know about Bronx, but I know for Brooklyn for sure that the rent is really, really out there. You'll be blessed. You'll be lucky enough to find something within your range. And so 1 paycheck can't do it. You need 2 paychecks. Now imagine if you need 2 paychecks to get up an apartment to live in. So you feel that it's better just rent a room and put your stuff in storage, because you got to pay at least, what, 100 and something, maybe 200 and something for the storage. And then you pay for the room you're living in. Hopefully the room you're living in, you're not paying a lot of money for. You're paying at least, what, 400, 300 a month if needs be. So you're paying 300-400 a month for the room, and then the storage. Now, mind you, that's the lowest. 300-400 for a room. That's the lowest you gotta pay. Because rooms are actually $125, $150 a week. $200 a week for some places. So here it is that, I mean, many people settle to live in the basement. Many people settle to live in the next room, wherever available for them. So they can't really move out and go start on their own, whether they divorced, separated, or going through a very challenging time. So you got to get creative. So in the beginning, this person is saying that in the beginning, my then wife and I opt for separate rooms, you know, because she could not sleep in the same room anymore, as my movement and snoring had gotten worse, right? Lord help me, Jesus. I'm going to keep it real right here. I want to keep it real right here. Wow. I want to keep it real right here. I ain't going to get into no snoring and stuff like that, brother. You're in a bad place, yo. If your snoring is that bad. Yo, I took the car to get service. I took my wife's car to get service one morning, and I was in the waiting room. And while I was in the waiting room, I had my earpiece in. I was on my phone. I was, just minding my business, doing whatever. Of course, I was a little tired myself, but nevertheless, I was still just staying up, keeping up. But right across in front of me, this brother, he went down south, man. I'm telling you, when I say down south, he went down south. Homeboy, he was like in his bedroom or in the couch. He was gone. And he was snoring. You could hear it a block away. Homeboy was snoring so loud. We were like, what's up? I never heard nothing like this before. So I'm understanding now what this brother here is saying, that his snoring got so worse that his wife couldn't divorce. As a matter of fact, I heard about a case the other day. A woman divorced a man because of this, because of the snoring. She just could not live with the snoring anymore. And she divorced over that. Can you imagine? You could get a divorce over snoring? What is this world coming to? Somebody get a divorce over snoring. I guess there might be other things that she might have mentioned in the divorce paper to get the divorce. But I mean, snoring. So you're trying to tell me that snoring can be abused? What is it? Abusive. I'm getting tongue-tied here. Forgive me. So, ladies and gentlemen, forgive me. So you want to tell me that snoring can be abusive? Snoring can be a reason for someone to get divorced. Are y'all for real? This is where we are in society. So, this brother says, when a solution for those two issues was found, it became about our desire to sleep in very different temperatures. I like it cooler at night, while she prefers to have a lot of hot place to curl up into. All right, I'm going to leave that alone. Man. Yeah, that's another story too. Man. I'm going to leave that alone because spouses find themselves in separate quarters because, room temperature, being able to get the right and the proper sleep at night so that they can go to work the next day. If your spouse is experiencing menopause, a woman, or if it's a man, if it's your spouse is experiencing menopause, menopause, 1 minute the person is hot, another minute the person is cold. I remember Pastor Wayne Moore? I remember Pastor Wayne Moore at one time says, yes, ladies and gentlemen, you got to learn to love your wives and to stay with them even in the cold. When you are freezing, you got to stay in the bed with them. You got to, even when you're freezing, because she wants the AC on full blast, and you there like, oh, you there shaking your cold. So Pastor Morris said, yes, you got to learn to continue to love your wife through all that, man. Wow, man. Hey, listen, this is real, folks. Some of y'all ain't got to go through it, but there are others who are going through it. Listen, when that woman is hot, she got to get cooled down. And it doesn't matter what, but she gonna find a way to cool down. And then she got to turn up that AC. You're going to end up paying a hefty bill because she got to turn up that AC to cool down. Otherwise, hey, you ain't getting no sleep. Period, you ain't getting no sleep if she's not able to cool down and relax and go to sleep or whatever. So in the dead middle of the night, that menopause can kick in, and she got to get cooled down. And that's what it is. So one of the best solutions is to have another place to sleep, and just let her have that. But hey, listen, home lady not having that, man. Sister's not having that. Your spouse, your wife is not having that. You better stay your behind in this bed. You ain't sleeping nowhere else. You got to stay in this bed, whether you like it or not. So y'all know there's some wife out there that control things like that. Y'all know that. Hey, listen, y'all better recognize. They keep, one of the things I keep bumping into people, and one of the things people keep saying to me, and I learned this, I pick up this, they keep saying, happy wife, happy life. I never knew that terminology until a year or two ago. People say happy wife, happy life. So, I remember who was it? This minister said to me a couple years ago that when mama at home is happy, then daddy is happy, because everything is fine, everything is good and fine, and daddy. So you gotta do everything to make sure mama at home is happy, right? You gotta do everything to make sure that wifey at home is happy and comfortable if you want to live a peaceable life. And hey, listen, that's the reality of things. I'm just talking it real right here. This program, this podcast right here, this ain't for little babies. This ain't for little babies who want to put their tail between their legs and go in the corner and cry and now, hey, you got to live in the doghouse. You got to live in the doghouse, and there are going to be reasons why you got to live in the doghouse. Sometimes it's not the best thing, it's not the ideal thing, but probably you got to live in the doghouse and just to, hey, survive. And that's what it's all about. It's surviving. And especially if you ain't rich and if you ain't got it like that, you got to do what you got to do to survive. So, hey, listen, man, it's what it is, right? So, listen, basically, is it that your marriage is unusual? Is it that your marriage is leading down the road of divorce and separation, really? Because here it is, you are separated from your spouse, your significant others, because you got to live in another place of the house, another space of the house, another place in the house, whether you want to be in the garage. That's just talking extreme, just saying. Or whether you want to be in the basement, whether you want to be in one of the 2 or 3 bedroom that you have not being used, not being occupied. You might have to take up the guest room to survive and to live and to be, so that there be peace. And here it is, as children of God, there are people who are in this situation. Husband and wives are sleeping in separate rooms. And there might be a legitimate reason for it. But who am I to say, okay? You don't have to live with that spouse. You can stay on the outside and say all you want to say. You can stay on the outside and judge all you want to judge. You can stay on the outside and say, oh, that's wrong. Oh, that shouldn't be so. You can stay on the outside. You don't have to live with that person. So you can say all you want to say until you begin to live with that person. When you begin to live with that individual, then you come up with what solution you're going to have. So I'm not trying to justify people living in separate quarters or sleeping in separate quarters. I'm not just trying to justify that. I'm just saying, I'm just putting the facts out there. Now, if you're asking me what I think and what I believe and what I feel, I'm going to tell you basically it's depending on the situation. I'm going to just basically tell you that it depends on the situation. The Bible says, owe no man nothing but love. And you got to say, let there be peace. All right? For peace sake, there are times you just take the wrong you just take the wrong. As they say, for the right? You take the wrong for the right. Okay? And you let there be peace between you and he. Or between you and she. See, let there be peace, right? Somebody says, they're actually asking the question, is my marriage so unusual? Right? So I guess this is the situation. The other night I asked my husband if he is happy. And after 30 minutes of thoughtful, 30 minutes, are you kidding me? 30 minutes of thoughtful consideration, he said he feels the concept of a long, happy marriage is overrated and that he isn't that he isn't not happy. Isn't not happy. What is that? He is satisfied. That is funny. That is funny. I'm like trying to figure out what kind of English is this. All right. He isn't not happy. He is satisfied. Oh man, that's a good one. I never heard that before, but that's a good one. Okay. Here it is. Someone say, okay, I'm posting for a friend. So in other words, they are posting this for a friend. It's not the person actually, right? I know a lot of you like to be anonymous, and that is good, and that's fine. Give me a call to somebody, man. Pick up the phone and give me a call. 516-255-6747. 516-255-67 255-6747. Give me a call, somebody. Call the radio station, man, and say, hello, Pastor Sterling. How you doing? Anyway, I thank y'all for texting. Y'all probably texting and I'm not looking at the texts at this time, at this moment, right? Y'all probably texting me and I'm not even looking at the texting. But anyway, don't pay me no mind. I thank you for being here. Welcome to Sterling in the Morning. Thank you all for listening. I'm so glad that you are here. I'm happy you are here. And for those of you who will be viewing the program or listening to the program at a later time or a later date, I sincerely do appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time to listening and to enjoying yourself in the day. All right. So here it is. Posting for a friend, some history. All right. We are in our 40s, educated, not religious, fit, healthy, work full time, and are financially stable and own our own homes. Owned our home. All right. We have been married nearly 15 years. And so my husband is an introvert. My husband is an introvert, meaning that he holds things in. Introvert, he holds things in. We share a love of the outdoors and used to hike and play on weekends. But generally, however, he prefers to go off on his own. So meaning this person like to spend time with himself. He's introvert. He holds things in, like to do a lot of things that are internalized. And so I've always respected his need for this, right? So she respected his need for space, in other words, to give him space. But it became particularly hard after we had our child and he'd disappear for whole weekends to be alone. And this include my first Mother's Day. In other words, her first Mother's Day with him, and with the child, he probably just wanted to be by himself. So he does not like social situations. So when friends invite us over, I typically go alone. Well, okay. Or with our child if it's a family friendly thing, right? So, quote unquote, if it's a family friendly thing. If it's other than that, she's not taking the child. All right, so we share an 8-year-old child we both adore. And there is no abuse in our family. Our communication is respectful and we truly like one another. Like, not love. All right, underline that word, like, not love. All right, so all that said, we have like roommates. We are like roommates. That means they are living like roommates, right? I sleep in the bedroom and he sleeps in the furnished basement family room. I can't remember the last time we shared a bed. Oh my goodness, for real? And the last time we had sexual activities was before our child was born. We don't snuggle or kiss or hug. We rarely touch one another. Oh man, this is bad. This is bad to me, the way this sounded. But anyway, when I asked if he'd prefer when I asked if he'd prefer it if we lived in separate houses, he said no, that living apart would make for a much harder life, and he don't want that. So now he's basically just thinking about himself and not the other person. So here we go. I realize that most of the people I know don't know these things about my marriage. Woo! Honey child, I say amen to that. And that there are likely just as many things I don't know about theirs. And so I seek greater perspective and useful feedback. My questions are these. Honey child, I understand, and I know I'm approaching this even from a Christian point of view, but you might not be a Christian per se, but a lot of Christians are facing this right here, right now, as you lay this out. There are a lot of people out there who are definitely in situations like this. And what is the solution? What is it? All right. You use some words that basically give you some understanding of what's going on and where this man is and where you are and so forth, right? So if you have been married more than 10 years, how would you describe your level of shared physical affection, right? Your shared social time or your sexual life, okay? So it's like, how would you describe it? Someone is asked. So if you have any experience resembling ours, how did you work through the issues, successfully or unsuccessfully, and what were the outcomes? And so the lessons, the useful resources. I'm likely looking for some example of what went well, wrong when couples separate, or when they powered through and work on things, or if they just accept the situation for what it is. And that is key. That is a very good question. Do they accept the situation for what it is or what it was? And so if you aren't comfortable publicly responding but feel you have something helpful to share, please don't hesitate to PM me. All right. But anyway, folks, if you're listening to me, you can text me. You are welcome and free to call me also at 516-255-6747. I'm not asking you about your situation. I'm not asking you to reveal your name. I have an ecosystem here. I can even distort your voice when you call if you so decide to want to. So give me a call if you can, 516-255-6747 right here. And I sincerely do thank you for listening. We're going to go some more into this right here. The situation here is that, there are many people that are living and sleeping in separate quarters than their spouse, and there are various reasons for that. What is your reason? Do you know someone who is like that? Are you familiar with people who are living, sleeping in separate rooms or quarters because of their long time marriage is not as it used to be? Like I said earlier, some people are falling out of love. Some people are just simply upset at each other. Some people, they are spending like 35 years together, and it becomes like an everyday lifestyle. Some people have extra rooms that not being used, not being occupied, and once in a while the person might go in there and sleep, or the person might say, okay, this is my new bedroom, and they're comfortable in that bedroom. And then again, there are some people who come together in one of the two bedrooms, and they will make love. They will have intimate activities, and some people, they don't have any intimate activities at all. So it varies across the board, but nevertheless, it's what it is. That's the situation. That's how the what is it? The lifestyle their lifestyle has become because of various different reasons. All right, so we're going to look at it some more. It's Sterling in the morning. Thank you for being right here. We're talking about being married and living in the dog house. This is real talk right here. Yeah, Minister Denzel Horn right here on Sterling in the morning in the ghetto. Yes, so many of us came out of the ghetto, and now that we have arrived, it's what it is. in the ghetto, man. Yes, married, but you're living in the doghouse for some reason or another. But it's not a good thing, it's not a right thing, but might simply just be a peaceful thing. You know, you have your peace of mind. Get to do what you want to do when you want to do, lay down when you want to lay down, get the TV for yourself, the remote for yourself. You ain't got to worry about nothing, right? That somewhat becomes somewhat kind of even selfish in itself. But as people of God, we would find ourselves in situations that are simply just not ideal. Many times it's not what we want and expected to find ourselves in, but we are in this situation nevertheless. It's not what you expected to ever happen to you in life. And so things change, and because things change, you find yourself in these situations where your significant other, your husband, your spouse might end up cheating on you, where now you're experiencing a form of infidelity, a form of betrayal. The person now has defiled themselves by giving themselves to someone else, and you don't want to accept him back, or you don't want to accept her back in that perspective. You don't mind continue living together in the same house, but you just can't see yourself giving your body to that person anymore. And then it resorts to something like that, you being in separate rooms, sleeping away from each other. There's so many different reasons out there. And then when it comes to even the man of God, there are ministers out there who are living in the basement. There are ministers out there who are sleeping in separate rooms. Somebody might say, Pastor, what's so wrong with that? Pastor, where are you going with? What do you mean, what's wrong with that then? So, hey, listen, there are reasons that drive individuals to reach that point in their marriage or in their lives. Now, to avoid these things, I mean, somebody could say it's very simple to avoid these things. But if you're a child of God, if you're a man of God and you want to make it in the kingdom of God, there are things that you're going to have to do in life that are not common, that are not acceptable to others. Others might feel differently. Others might think that you are wrong. And others might support you. So depending on the situation that you are in. Now, when it comes to the things of God, when it comes to the ministry of God, the Bible says that blessed is he that leaveth father, mother. Blessed is he that leaveth father, mother, children, for the sake of God, for the sake of the ministry. For the sake of the ministry, you probably find yourself in a separate place than your spouse, or the the mindset of the minister has to be right in order to serve the ministry. That's one and key, and And then the next thing, the question then asks, and is arise that if you cannot manage your home, how are you going to manage the church? That's another thing. That's another concern. And there are things that you have to do in terms of management that might not be ideal for some people. Some people might not accept it, and some people might reject it. So for Christ's sake, for the sake of the ministry, for peace sake, you might have to find yourself in separate quarters or in different quarters. We're talking about people of God. We're talking about people of God that wants to live for God. You want to live for God, you might have to find yourself in a separate quarter from your spouse in order to continue to live for God, in order to continue to minister. You might find yourself have to do that. Now, someone might say, is it wrong or is it right? Pastor, that's not right. Pastor, that's wrong. If you can't live with your wife, you can't, finding yourself in separate quarter doesn't mean that you don't love your wife. Number one, you could make that argument also. You might be in a separate quarter from your wife, but doesn't mean that you don't love your wife. It means that you probably even love her enough to just want to have peace, to want her to have her sanity, want her to be in her space where she's comfortable. And because her space is not comfortable for you, you have to find yourself in a different space. You might find yourself in a situation where, yes, you don't believe in marriage, or divorce rather. You don't believe in divorce. So you don't believe in divorce, but you stay in the marriage. You stay married. But yet there's nothing going on in the marriage to whatever. You can still sleep in the same bed, but there's nothing going on in the marriage. You can sleep in a separate bed, but nothing really going on in the marriage. You just staying married because you don't believe in divorce. So mind you, you can still love the person, but you sleep in separate quarter. And then if nature calls, when nature calls, you come together and you have sexual activity, but for peace sake, you are sleeping in separate places in the house. But there are times that you'll come together and you'll get it going on, and then that's it. All right, you have and then you go back to your separate quarter. You do what works best for you. Let every man work out his own salvation with fear and trembling. But I cannot tell you what to do. I can advise, I can suggest, but I cannot tell you what to do in your situation. If your husband, your wife is not sexually active with you, you got to deal with that. And there are different ways to deal with that. There are wrong ways and there are right ways to deal with it. But then when it goes to the point where you have to now be in a separate quarters than he is or she is, that's just taking things to another level now. And so you got to look at the reasons why. Are the reasons that you are separated or being in separate quarters, are they legitimate? Are those reasons legitimate? Is it going to bring about peace in the relationship while you are doing this? Is it that the person is not allowing you to do the ministry like you really want to? The person is not with you in terms of you going to church, in terms of you preaching, in terms of you going and speaking engagement, in terms of, is the person really against you doing all of that? And by all means necessary, you got to do what the Lord called you to do. But then some people going to question you. Why aren't you, living a better life with your husband or with your wife, but yet you want to lead people of God? And so you cannot control what the other person do, but you can control what you do. Or I should say what the other person does. Same difference. So you got to find yourself in a situation, God forbid that it will ever happen to you or to me. But what if it does happen? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Your husband might even left you and you don't even know that they left. They're still with you. They're still sleeping in the same room with you, but they're just not with you. Their minds are somewhere else. Their heart is somewhere else. It's only a matter of just go living in a different space because you're being a no good to the person. You're not any good to the person. All right. What does it mean to live separate or apart for, the purpose of separation? While a separation usually means one party moving out of the marital residence. Okay. Many times you'll find that some people cannot afford to move out. And so during the separation, the other person is in a different quarter of the house, different space of the house, while they are trying to work on the marriage at times. So if a person is having difficulties in the marriage and you're trying to work it out, if there's space in the house is big enough, the house has another quarter that one of you can be in. You want to be in that quarter and work on either resolving the marriage or work on staying separated for a year or two or something like that. You got to understand that these are reality. These are real people's life. People emotions are at stake here. People emotions are involved here. And so a wife, a wife might find herself wanting to just be away from her husband to get her bearings back and to figure out if she really want to continue the marriage or not. And so people will find themselves in such situation, and the sleeping arrangement would be altered. The sleeping arrangement would somewhat be different, because here it is that the person just simply want to be in their own space and reflect on the marriage and figure out what they want to do moving forward, how they should move, what they should do moving forward. Is this for them? Should they continue? Some people have tried tirelessly to make the marriage work, but it's simply just not working out. So what do? You cannot afford to go rent a place. What do? You don't have friends that you can say, okay, let me go off to and go and be with. There's a case where Batra versus Batra, right? A wife found a videotape of her husband having, intercourse with another woman. She then moved all of his belongings into another bedroom, and they stopped having sexual activities. And so the wife also asked her husband repeatedly to move out of the house. And she established now her intentions of wanting to separate from her husband. And so further, she no longer deposit funds into the party's joint bank account. And the wife ceased attending church and other family functions with her husband. Wow. Okay. She had a collaborating witness visit the house once a week, which later testifying that the parties were no longer living as a married couple. The husband argued that the parties were still cohabitating as the wife continued to buy groceries, cook, and clean. However, the court appeals found these facts alone were insufficient to prove that the parties were cohabiting. See that? And as demonstrated by the case of Broshra, whether the parties are living separate and apart under the same roof is a fact-specific issue that requires the court to consider all of the circumstances before making a determination. So, quote unquote, here it is. Not quote unquote, but here's a situation that, you know, this couple is supposed to be supposed to be separated, and before the court can grant them a divorce, they have to be separated for a year. And here it is that they are separated. However, the man is living in a different quarter than the woman, but she still takes care of the home. She still cleans. She still do whatever. So it's like they are cohabitating. They are living in the same place, but separate quarters, same location rather, separate quarters, separate rooms. Now the court had to look at it. Are they really separated, or is it that they are really living together? They are living together but separated. They are really separated because they have different quarters. Or is it that they're really still together because they live at the same location? Okay? So the court will see that, yes, they live separately while in the same residence or same location. And therefore, the case also illustrates that it is preferably for both parties to agree to this arrangement. It taking consideration that both parties did agree to this type of arrangement. And so if one party is in denial that the separation is occurring or disagree with the date of separation, it adds another level of complexity to the case, which may lead to litigations. So you see, so here it is. There's with the court system an interpretation. So the court would rule in this situation. But as people of God, the scripture said that many times we are not even to take our cases to the court, but we should try and work it out. We should even try and work it out with the church leaders to intervene and to interact. So it's the reality of Christian people today, ministers today, that you're living in the same quarters, same residence, same location, and yet you are separate. You're separated by mind. Your mind. You're separated because you are not intimate anymore. You're separated because you are not sleeping in the same bed anymore. But yet you're under the same roof. You're separated, but one is in the basement and one is in the other bedroom. But you're still under the same roof. You're in the same residence. Or you're really and truly separated. You are married, but you are living in the doghouse. Does that mean that you are living a separation life or a separated life? You are married, you're still in love with your wife, you're still in love with your spouse. But there are just some things that you cannot live with in the same room that your spouse is in. Things you cannot tolerate. Love from a distance as well. Yeah. So Both parties need to be aware that at least one spouse has the intent to end the marriage, and that this intent must remain throughout the separation. And it is best to document this by stating the intention to primarily end the marriage as of a certain date, but do it in writing. And here's the next thing now. Well, we're not even talking about all right. We're not talking. I'm not here talking about divorce or separation or whatever. I'm not here talking about that anyway. So let me leave that alone. So we're not. But I'm just drawing this scenario. The reason why people are living in the doghouse. Really, basically, that's what we're talking about here. I'm not talking about the final intention or blah 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 whatever. So because of starting divorce proceedings, the person might live in separate quarters. So separation is now occurring, and yes, separation is not contingent whether you are a minister, a man of God, a woman of God, or whatever, ministress, or whatever the case might be. The separation is just separation. Okay, whether you are saved or unsaved, it's the same instance, same whatever. And then the question is asked: well, if you're a child of God, should you separate? Should you live separated life? You're a child of God, but you're married. Should you live separated life? So now that becomes the question. Well, if you intend on, number one, fixing the marriage and you need to be separated for a while, by all means, yes, do it. If you need to fix the marriage, you're working on the marriage and you got to separate for a while and you're still in the same residence, well, do it. Why not do it? That's the intention is to fix the marriage. If you intend to finally decimate the marriage or divorce and you need to separate, then okay, fine, go ahead, do it, because the goal is that you are filing for divorce, and in order for divorce to come true, you must be separated from the person. So even if you're a child of God, that doesn't mean that you're not going to seek divorce. You are going to anyway, regardless. But divorce is a last resort that you really want. It shouldn't be the first thing. But then you have cases where, brother and sister go into church and then when they reach home, they're sleeping in separate quarters. They have separate rooms that they have their favorite room that they are in, and that's the lifestyle. And then you have situations where, okay, we want to go out together on date night. We go out together on date night. We want to get intimate together. We get intimate together, and we choose whichever room we want to be in. So you have people who are living in those kind of situations also. But it's just that they are living in two separate rooms. But whatever it is, as a child of God, you want to let the peace of God reign in your home. Because you can come together and you can have prayer. You can come together, you can have dinner, you can come together, you can watch TV, you can do a lot of stuff together. But then when it's time to sleep, you are sleeping somewhere else. For most part, you're sleeping somewhere else. And so you have those kind of situations out there as well. Am I making sense here to anybody? But anyway, I want to thank you so much for being here. I want to thank you for listening today. It's Sterling in the Morning. Right here, we talk about things that are uncomfortable, uneasy for people to talk about. But really, right here, this is the real deal. It's the real talk right here. And so I'm grateful to God for you being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of the program. I want to see if I could play some clip for you, if I can get to it. But let me wrap it up right here and get ready to get out of here. I gotta go pretty up myself a little bit, if y'all don't mind. Look at my rough look right now. Some people like the rough look, and others don't. But anyway, hey, it's what it is. I'm gonna just do what I got to do and take care of myself. All right. Hey, listen. God bless you. God keep you. God cause his face to shine upon you. Lift up his countenance upon thee and be gracious unto thee, both now and forevermore. Be blessed, somebody.
I've been down some dark roads, lonely and afraid, searching in the darkness, trying to find my way. So weak and discouraged, I couldn't even pray. But then I heard your voice from heaven, calling my name. That's how I know I couldn't have done it by myself. I know God was there, He was there to be my help. I made it through the storms, I made it through the rain. He was there with me in the valley, He's my troubles and my pain. I made it through the storm. Oh, I'm not ashamed. I've got a testimony. Oh, I just wanna praise His name. Ooh, you see, I'm a miracle standing before your eyes. I had to endure all the pressures of life. But through it all, God was right by my side. You see, angels surround me. They were there to be my guide. For I know I couldn't have done it by myself. I know God was there. He was there to be my help. I made it through the storms. I made it through the rain. He was there with me in the valley. He's my troubles and my pain. I made it through the storm. I'm not ashamed. I've got a testimony. I just wanna praise His name.
Oh, yes.
I made it.
Somebody said I made it.
Oh, Lord. 'Cause I made it. Yeah.
You made it through the doghouse as well.
'Cause I made it when the best were due. Oh, God stepped in time. I made
Yes, the music of Jabez right here on Sterling in the Morning. As you make it through the doghouse as well, out of the doghouse. Yeah, that's what we call it, out of the doghouse. And hey, listen, man, it's what it is. I want to thank you for being here. Truly, truly do. We're going to look at really when is it okay to take someone out other than your spouse. Maybe we want to try to look at that. I'll try to look at that tomorrow. Hopefully, tomorrow is what? Tomorrow's a Wednesday.
I made it through.
Yeah, tomorrow is Wednesday. Maybe we're going to look at this tomorrow.
'Cause I made it. Thank God you've made it through. 'Cause I made it. Oh, I made it through. Everybody lift your hands. Praise Him.
Yeah, the music of Jabez, I made it through. We want to thank you so much for being a part of this program right here. Hopefully you can join me tomorrow. Share the link with somebody. And let's have a good time in the Lord. Let's have a good time tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of the day and stay blessed. Reach out to me. I'm here for you. If you got a wedding to do, if you got somebody getting married, you know someone wants to get married, give me a call. You know, if anyone needed to be tutored to, someone wants to be tutored to, give me a call. If you know of anyone needing some vitamins, give me a call. Got these vitamins right here that I want to introduce to you. It's a men's pack. I also have one that's called a woman pack. Want a retail value about $30 for this right here. Retail value about $30 for this right here. I want to share this with you, men's pack. And it's a very good vitamin to have. All natural, goes right into your system, comes right out of your system, goes in and do what it's supposed to do and come right back out. In this vitamin here, you have CalMag-D, you have multivitamin in here, you have vitamins for vitamin C, which releases in your system on a timely basis, and this vitamin C helps to build your immune system, especially in the cold weather. Many of you are running to get flu shots. Taking this vitamin C and storing up in your body, in your system, will help you to fight off the flu virus, and it will help you not to catch a cold. Definitely, I know that for sure. All right, so we have in here concentrated food and vegetable vitamins also. On top of that, we have omega, which is good for your brain. It's good for your eyes. All right, this omega is very, very good. Very, very good. I start taking it. And this is one of my go-to vitamins, men's pack, right here. All right, retailing it for at least 30 peso, $30 if you so wish to have. This is the only pack I have right now on hand. 516-255-6747 is the number to call to get this. I have it in woman. We have a woman's pack and we have the men's pack. Get this for your significant other. Get this for your man. Get this for your husband. Get this for your son. And you will be doing them a great favor. All right? Listen, once again, remember to continue to support the program here. Your listening ears, your viewing eyes is just simply one of the major ways of supporting the program here. It's Sterling in the morning. Thank you so much for being here. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of the day. In Jesus' name, I'll be with you again tomorrow, God's willing. Stay tuned. I will try to be on even a little earlier tomorrow so that we can have the full day together. Full morning together.
I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. Mothers, fathers, sons, and daughters, don't cry, don't cry. Stop by to tell you that the Lord is passing by. Don't cry, don't cry. Teardrops falling from your eyes. That's all I can see.